early National Signing Day is here. We are about to break down the current class for Alabama, who signed, who could flip, and some other targets out there. We will also have an afternoon video for you guys, a recap, if you will. So make sure you are subscribed for more early National Signing Day updates here on the Alabama Football Report. Here's where they sit. Alabama in the wide-ranging recruiting rankings. They are second in the On3 only rankings, third in the 24/7 sports rankings, fourth in Rivals, and the composite has them third. We will not do ESPN the way we used to because they're bad. It is On3 and 24/7 sports by far better there. The current class. Now, we'll emphasize the commitments here since there's only 8 guys who officially have signed and sent in their letter of intent. 5 of them are 3 stars. 14 of them are 4 stars. 5 of them are 3 stars. So heavy 4 stars with some more likely to come here for the Crimson Tide. We begin with the gem, the jewel of this class for Alabama and head coach Nick Saban. Julian Sayin, the 5-star quarterback who is the number 1 ranked quarterback in the 24/7 sports composite rankings. We'll use those for all the numbers and stars and ranking stuff that you guys see. He is number 1 in both quarterback and from California. So noteworthy given the quarterback issues Lincoln Riley now running himself into there at USC. Sayin is a very notable get for the Crimson Tide. He has already signed, by the way. So signed, sealed, delivered, whatever we want to do there. Big get for the Tide, the potential quarterback of the future for Alabama. Bama has a chance to at least get to number 2. Maybe they can push Georgia for that number 1 seed. But where do you think Alabama finishes in the 2024 recruiting rankings? Right now it's Georgia, OSU, Bama, Florida State, Texas is the top 5. Where do you think the Tide finish at? This will be today's pinned comment. So if the ad comes here on YouTube and you haven't already commented, head down to that pinned comment and let me know where you think Bama finishes in the recruiting rankings. There's also the athlete commit of note. That's Amari Jefferson, who we'll see if he tries to play baseball. It's a bit rare to see a two-sport athlete at Alabama because it's just so focused on football as it should be. It was a Tennessee commit, ends up flipping to Alabama. 4-star athlete, number 147 overall, the number 3 player in the state of Tennessee. No ceremony planned in this early signing day window. He's on a cruise, which sounds a lot more entertaining as far as I'm concerned. Let's stick with the offense here. Several notable commits, a couple of whom have already signed. First up, tight end Caleb Odom. He has signed as well for Alabama at tight end. 4-star tight end. This was the guy we spent a lot of time on earlier this year of I want to get him. He's the number 2 ranked tight end, and he is the number 7 player from the state of Georgia. He's already signed, by the way. So too is the other tight end in this class. That is Jay Lindsey. 3-star, number 797 overall, much further ranked downwards from Alabama, number 37 in the state, 42nd ranked tight end. The big get, who is set to sign on February 9th, his birthday, and we'll take some visits, by the way, which will leave the hopes and dreams for some of a potential flip. Ryan Williams, who is, remember, he was not supposed to be in this cycle. He was supposed to be in the next year's cycle. He's going to enroll extra early, get that, skip that final year of high school and go to college. 5-star wide receiver, number 12 overall, 4th ranked receiver, number 2 from Alabama. There's also 4-star wide receiver Rico Scott, who was set to sign earlier this morning. Not sure if that's been officially done at this stage, but be patient, it'll come through. Wide receiver from Pennsylvania, by the way, 319 overall. And then there's Jameer Grimsley, also set to sign today, 189 overall. He's from Florida, 25th ranked player in that state. To the defensive backfield we go. The first ever Nick Saban era legacy commit. How crazy is that? Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., who is one of the lowest ranked recruits in this cycle. He's out to the top 1,100. Is from Alabama, 3-star cornerback. Then there's the 5-star, Jalen Mbakwe, number 18 overall. He's set to sign, and depending on when you're watching this, he might have actually already signed. It was set to be 10 a.m. Central, so we'll see if that's, sometimes signings early, sometimes late. It's not a big deal. Number 1 ranked corner, number 3 from the state of Alabama. Zabin Brown has already signed, which is, hey, he's based in California. Now, he's one of the guys who's kind of been on campus as of late, so makes it entertaining, but maybe just got up early today. 4-star cornerback recruit. He is ranked, by the way, nationally, number 62 overall, number 5 from California. Then your 2 4-star safeties. There's Peyton Woodard and Red Morgan. First off, 2 very, very elite names. I think got Woodard in your back name as a safety. His name is Red. It's awesome. 102 overall for Peyton, 287 for Red. Forgot to mention Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. has signed as well. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Head over to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. It is a simple, easy, exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. You're not battling thousands of other players. There's no pros. There's no sharps. I like the flex play, by the way. Lower payout, but you only got to get 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 right. Here are my picks for the Alabama-Michigan CFP semifinal matchup. Give me more than on Jalen Milroe rushing and passing yards, and more than Roman Wilson receiving yards. I think he'll hit one big chunk play against Bama. So again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comment section and the description of today's show. We told you guys that when Isaiah Faga flipped from Utah to Alabama, he would rise in the rankings, and oh, look what happened. He is now a 4-star from really the last time we talked about him in depth. 444 overall from Alabama. Jeremiah Beeman, another defensive lineman there, 4-star recruit. It's, good addition there for Alabama. Number 70 overall, the highest rated guy of this grouping. One guy who has already signed is Sterling Dixon, the edge rusher, after they got Jayshon Ross to commit yesterday. Faga, Beeman, Ross are all signed today. Dixon is 184 overall. He's from Alabama too. Ross is 237 overall from Missouri. Who is your favorite player in the Alabama 2024 recruiting class? Julian Sains, maybe the obvious name, since he's the number 1 ranked quarterback going to Bama. That's always a good thing. I'm a sucker for my athletes because when I played NCAA 14, I would love to recruit athletes and see where they ended up. It was really fun. So I'm going to go Amari Jefferson myself, / I think Jalen Mbakwe also kind of fits that mold too. Sound off for me in the comments section. Some linebacker commits here. One guy who has already signed, actually 2 guys who have signed, I should say. Justin Okoronkwo, who's from Germany, by the way, the 3-star linebacker, 590 overall, and 4-star linebacker Caden Jones, 223 overall. Both guys very impressive football players, highly impactful guys. In theory, I think go Okoronkwo, by the way. Underrated player. Needs some time to adjust. Certainly worth keeping an eye out for. There's also Quentin Reese, the 3-star linebacker, who is not that highly rated because, he's a 3-star, 805 overall. Offensive line time now. Joseph Ionata, the 3-star. He was one of the first offensive linemen to commit. He was one of the FSU legacy guys that Bama managed to land. Then 2 4-stars. Casey Poe is the number 1 ranked interior offensive lineman. He's from Texas. He's number 85 overall. William Sanders was a 3-star, but then commits to Bama and rises up the rankings. It's almost, which, you could maybe make it biased, but also it's like, hey, if you're the recruiting guys and Bama gets a guy that you weren't that high on, they're probably right and you're probably wrong, so maybe you should reevaluate that. How do you guys feel about the Alabama offensive line class? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Before we go, I do want to look at a couple of potential flips here. And we will revisit these on our video later this afternoon, if they get him or not. Growing buzz. Edric Houston, 5-star defensive lineman / edge, could flip from Ohio State to Alabama. He is set to sign later this afternoon. that will be worthy of a short and is a big player to keep an eye out for. It would jump Bama to at least number 2 over Ohio State because they pull him away there. Kevin Riley, he's kind of made it sound like he's going to flip to Alabama after committing to Miami originally. Uncommitted guys, Solomon Williams, Jaden Bogg, who might go to Florida. We'll see. Another offensive lineman that won his favor, Edwin. And there's Aaron Hampton. And there has been some more growing buzz that Bama can flip him as well. Originally, he was with Bama in Texas. Tom Loy at 24/7 Sports flipped his crystal ball selection. Some of the Texas 24/7 Sports guys saying it's possible too. So Houston, Riley, and Hampton. 3 major flips to keep an eye out for at the beginning of early National Signing Day. There's no timing here as of now for Aaron Hampton. 2 more targets to keep an eye out for. Daniel Hill, the 4-star back, and 4-star safety Zay Mincy. Now, both guys are going to sign today. However, they will not announce until January 6th at the All-American Bowl. So in theory, you might get some leaks, or maybe you see some sudden, quiet crystal ball picks come in, or recruiting predictions, whatever. Daniel Hill might have to wait to see what happens on other running backs, and they're going after Kevin Riley, etc. Zay Mincy has been a potential key get for the Crimson Tide as well. So final question. Will Bama land either Daniel Hill or Zay Mincy? I think they get Mincy, and unless they flip multiple backs, I think they get Hill too. Why for yes and for no in the comments section.